All right, welcome. Milton Daily Homes, 22 listings today. This is the biggest list we've had in a while. There's about 5 or 6 I want to talk about. And the goal is to have you be more educated, be a better buyer, whether or not you work with us or not. We want to leave you better than how we find you. So let's talk about some homes. So first one up is Clitheroe. I'm not going to go through the pictures. The home is more than 1,500 square feet. Now there's this large lot on the side. It says largest lots we've ever seen, 44 by 44 basically. But what they mean is the largest frontage. So it's almost on a double lot because these are on 21-foot lots, typically the inside ones. So you're really a double. They probably couldn't do another one in the row because there's building code restrictions as to how many townhouses can be grouped together at once. Anyway, you've got kind of a space for the kids, which is unique, right? So you've got 1,500 square feet, which typically right now is kind of going for around what they're asking, and the X factor is the land and what's that worth. So they're holding back on offers, which is not something we're seeing a lot these days. But maybe you know, if you look at 1,500 square feet for a townhouse with a backyard, the first number starts with a 6. Now this is a 3-story. It's a different style than a 2-story. But it'll be interesting to see. This one is one of the hardest ones to predict price-wise. I just don't know if there's legs there to get multiple offers, but I guess we'll find out on October 10th. So if you're willing to live with something smaller, not 1,500 plus square feet, you can get 1,235 square feet here on Baverstock. You can see the roof is old. You can see the shingle uplift right here. In the listing, it says that the shingles are going to be replaced by the seller. So 1,235 square feet. It's an open concept main floor. I just sold one of this exact floor plan in the 560s. And then you've got this massive 144-foot deep lot. That's a big piece of property. And it's not something you find every day for townhouses. So this one is, they're not holding back on offers, but if you need a smaller house and some really good land, I really like this one as an option. This might be my pick of the day. I like it. Here's another great option for a deep lot. So today is lots of lots, and 796 Coulson, 629 for a detached home. You've got 2-car parking in the driveway. We're going to talk about that later in the episode too. It's the next best thing to a double car garage, is that you don't need to play the switcheroo with your cars. The garage is at the front of the house, which kind of moves everything forward and allows more square living space. It's still a bit of an odd layout. I find that a lot of the homes on this street have the rooms are just kind of set up different, but maybe that's your thing. Outside, well, if pink carpets are your thing, you have that upstairs. It's not hard to fix. And then you've got a finished basement, you get a decent sized yard, plus that is nice for barbecuing if it's raining. It's nice for barbecuing if it's snowing. Having a covered porch in the back, I think, is a huge value add, as is the privacy behind and the fact that it's 120 feet deep for the same price as a new townhouse. $629. You get all of that together. That sounds good to me. Now, 827 Howden Crescent, it's just over 2,000 square feet. Here's what I want to talk about. Priced like a 3-bedroom. Here's the thing about that comment. My own experience and perception, this comes from selling over 1,000 homes. It comes from being in literally 15,000 homes in my life, searching through MLS, probably a couple 100,000 I've seen online since starting in this business. That makes me feel old, by the way. But the point is what I'm trying to get at is the value of a home, in my experience, is more about the square footage than it is about whether or not there's 4 slightly smaller bedrooms or 3 larger bedrooms. So how the space is cut up really I think just appeals to different buyers. There's probably a slight premium on price for a 4-bedroom, but it's almost negligible. It's the size of the box that more often than not determines the value. Obviously things like location and finishes, but strictly from a size perspective, whether or not that house has a different composition, it doesn't really matter that much. And I talk to people a lot about that when we're valuing homes. So even if you're choose the best home for you, not what you think is going to sell in the future. And again, there is probably a little bit of a premium for a 4, but it's not as much as people think. Now, this area around Houston Drive, one of the few areas in town that has 1.5 car garages, which is, I guess, okay, because the garages keep shrinking in these homes. Value-wise, if you're not a double garage, then you'd get lumped into single garage. So that's how I'd encourage you to think about this one. Is it's an oversized single versus a 1.5 car garage. The advantage with the 1.5 is oftentimes the driveway is big enough that you can fit 2 cars side by side, and that's not necessarily a big value booster, but it is something that is very useful, and it's also good when you're competing against a bunch of other homes that just have a single lane driveway. So all brick is nice. I think the curb appeal is good on this one. Just don't treat the 1.5 as having any significant extra value above a 1. And finally, assignment sales. Assignment sale, Belmore, and these are not any better than stuff you can buy on the open market. 2,500 square feet for $1.3 million. This doesn't even compare well with the other assignment sales. I don't know what they think they're doing. I don't know. It's fascinating to me, and there's almost more assignment sales than there are actual sales over $1 million. And you notice nobody's selling the small stuff. I think there's one townhouse. I think these guys are in trouble. I think there's just too many out there. The market's been flooded by these assignments. So, Mr. Buyer, you can buy a sheet of paper that will one day be a house, versus you could buy something like this on Chambers and it's actually there, and you can see it and you can inspect it and you can look at the neighbors, and you've got an established area. You're not going to live in dirt, all these other things. I said this yesterday. I've said it a few times in the last couple of weeks. I don't see how these assignments are any advantage to a buyer, and I don't know why they're selling. I think probably some insecurity about some market changes happening. I'm meeting with a mortgage guy next week, and I'm going to share with you some of the things he has to say. They're talking about stress tests through the whole marketplace, and a lot of other mortgage rule changes. So I really believe that if you can buy a house in the next probably 6 to 12 months, you probably want to consider doing it before December. But let's see what happens. I'll know more when I speak to our friend Jake about mortgage changes. So there you go. That's the list. And if you want to see anything in the list, if you need some help, we're here for you. We're going to give you the right advice. We're going to make sure you stay safe, that this is a profitable, successful move for you. And we're going to stay in touch with you for years to come. We're just about to send out some invites to our clients for the next Star Wars movie. We're hosting that movie just before Christmas for all of our friends, family, clients. Last time we filled 2 theaters, and there's a possibility we could do more this year. So have a great day, and we are here to help you.